What's up, guys? Bang, bang. It's lunch money time. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. I'm here with the beautiful, intelligent Polina Pompliana. I'm tired. I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. Don't forget that lunch money is now sponsored by BlockFi. Go get an interest-bearing account. You can earn up to 8.6% APY in that interest-bearing account. There's chaos in the world. You're not going to find 8.6% anywhere else. Go get a BlockFi account. You can also buy and sell crypto. You can deposit crypto and take out a US dollar loan against that crypto collateral. BlockFi is awesome. I'm an investor. I sit on the board. I'm a user. I'm happy. You'll be happy. Go get a BlockFi account, blockfi.com/pomp.
What were you doing until 3 a.m.?
I was watching the election. Wild.
That is our first topic, the never-ending election. It's still going on. If you want to... Oh, I'm wearing a Georgia sweatshirt. Georgia's divided right now. It feels like the whole world is kind of divided. But yeah, so it's still going on. We don't know who the president is, but we will probably soon.
I'm only going to say 2 things.
Okay.
One, the polling experts are idiots.
Well, they try their best.
Maybe, but like that whole industry is broken. I tweeted it last night. They're basically like meteorologists. Like the meteorologist, like it's going to rain today. It doesn't rain. I'm like, okay, well, how do you keep being wrong and keep your job? And I understand it's hard. I understand there's probability. I get it. But, you had 4 years to figure out the polling situation, and that was completely wrong. Second is there's a lot of people surprised. There's Democrats that are surprised. There's Republicans that are surprised. And what I think that this is showing is that we need more listening, we need more collaboration, and we need less division in this country. So the fact that the Democratic side of our country is yelling and screaming that our president is racist, our current president is racist, but 70% of Latino voters in a certain area are voting for him.
Both can be true.
Agreed. But just those 2 things don't follow the same narrative. Secondly, on the Republican side, there was a number of narratives that got completely violated last night, right? There's states and counties that have historically been Republican that flipped. And so what ends up occurring is just we need people working together. We need more collaboration. We need much more unity. And we need to remember we're all on the same team. That's all this is about. So, we're on the same team.
I read this article that basically it was a survey or a poll, and it asked Americans about all the hot button issues, and actually the majority of people agreed with each other. And versus where, we think one side is this and one side, people think, the majority of Americans think racism is bad and there's something to do, we have to do something about it. That's like a thing. But if you only watch the news, you'd think we are so divided and nobody believes the same thing. So
my message is very simple. In this country, we need to work together. We need to remember we're on the same team. We have to understand that we may have different opinions as to how to get to those solutions, and that's okay. But by being more collaborative, by listening to each other, by working together, we're more likely to get there, and we're more likely to live in a safe, prosperous, happy society.
Instead of just pulling the rope to our side.
Yeah, rather than just constantly being divided, having the mainstream media be so divisive in their coverage, right? All of these things, it's everyone's responsibility. Whether you're an individual private citizen, whether you're a member of the mainstream media, whether you're part of the new media, or whether you're a politician. It is everyone's responsibility. We need to work together, not argue with each other, not be so divisive. And what you're going to find is, my prediction, is that we are going to have a violent return to extreme moderation.
I really hope so.
Right now, we have a country where the people who are being rewarded are at the extreme ends of either political party. So if you are hardcore conservative or you are hardcore liberal, you're being rewarded right now. There's an entire generation of people, and I'm one of them, who's growing up saying, this is stupid. Why are you guys fighting like this? Let's use some common sense. Let's work together. Let's find solutions that are in the middle, because the best compromises, the best deals are always when 2 people walk away from the table wishing for a little bit more.
It becomes less of an argument and more of a negotiation.
Of course. And so it's just collaboration. That's what we need in this country. We need people working together, not fighting each other. And it's every single person's responsibility. So that's all I'm going to say is who cares who wins the election? That's going to be true regardless. And whoever ends up being the president should be the president and govern everyone. Let's go.
Both sides, not just their side, both sides.
Of course.
All sides. By the way, sometimes when we disagree on something, we have to remind each other, okay, we're on the same team, let's solve it, instead of just, I want it my way and you want it your way.
I always win, though. Go ahead.
Okay. So JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon told employees that they must have faith in the U.S. election process and patience to await a final determination. While strong opinions and tremendous passion characterize this U.S. election, it is the responsibility of each of us to respect the democratic process and ultimately the outcome, Dimon said Wednesday in a memo to all U.S. employees with the subject line, U.S. election update. So if you're the CEO of one of these big banks or companies or whatever, how do you deal with something like this when all your people might be upset one way or another?
What you really should do is what they've done for decades and decades and decades, which is you keep politics out of the workplace, right? The problem is that we live in a society today where people want to work in a place that they feel like embodies their values, right? So if you were a pure capitalist, just optimizing for how do we build as profitable company as possible, you'd keep politics out. Obviously, the world's not black and white, and so you have humans working there. Those humans have desires, they have interests, they have political leanings, things like that. So it's a tough thing to kind of balance. And look, the message, I think, is pretty non-controversial of let the cards fall where they're going to fall, and then whoever the president is going to be the president. It's not like that seems pretty common sense to me, right? And by the way, if there's disputes or controversies or whatever, they'll go to court, and the court system will figure it out. Like, I'm not a judge. I don't know what all the rules are. They'll figure it out, right? And when they figure it out, then they'll tell us, okay, here's who the president is, and we'll move forward. Let's go.
Okay. On Tuesday, Tesla CEO Elon Musk tweeted that his electric car company had been about a month away from bankruptcy in recent years when it was still figuring out how to mass produce the Model 3 electric sedan.
Not sedan.
Sedan. So Musk said, the closest we got was about a month. The Model 3 ramp was extreme stress and pain for a long time, from mid-2017 to mid-2019. Production and logistics hell. So, I mean, he tweeted this at somebody's random question. I like that he's transparent, but I feel like if this was happening now, he wouldn't be this open about it.
Yeah, I mean, look, if it didn't work, he probably wouldn't be talking about it. And also, I think he enjoys kind of the hero's journey a little bit, right? He enjoys people knowing, hey, we almost went bankrupt, because it kind of feeds into the Elon narrative. By the way, if that's true, and all accounts say that it is, it's pretty crazy, right? That business
from 1 month.
Yeah, SpaceX. He was one failed rocket launch away from it failing. So it's pretty nuts that how much risk that guy has taken, and obviously it's worked out and it's been rewarded.
Waymo, the self-driving company of Google's parent company Alphabet, has suspended its self-driving operations in San Francisco as businesses and cities brace for potential unrest following the presidential election. Why would they do that? They just don't. They feel like the Waymo can't handle protests and many people being in the street.
I mean, there might be a technology component to it for sure. I think just generally people are saying, whether it's small businesses in New York City, whether it's self-driving cars or whatever, people are just saying, hey, there's uncertainty here, and we want to reduce our risk. And what's the best way to reduce our risk is to stop. Right, or pause, or slow down, or do whatever, and so it seems like that's what they're doing.
Yep,
makes sense. I mean, like, what's the advantage, right? It's like a risk reward. Okay, cool. We keep our service going for 48 hours, or we basically stop it for 48 hours. We make sure that there's no incidents, and then we kind of just pick it back up, 3 days from now. Like, risk reward. It says you would probably want to slow down.
So the U.S. dollar has been weak for most of Donald Trump's presidency. Tax cuts, a bigger deficit, and several interest rate cuts from the Federal Reserve have pushed the greenback lower. But even if Trump loses to Joe Biden, the dollar may not dramatically rebound anytime soon. Do you believe this?
Yeah, I'm not I know some people think that the macro economy changes a lot. Wow, I just yawned. You see that? 3 a.m. They think that the macroeconomy changes a lot based on who the president is. I'm actually more of a believer that like the president can have an impact, just not a severe impact on a lot of that stuff. Sure, are there policy changes? Yes, of course. But like the Federal Reserve is going to target a plus 2% inflation target, regardless of if it's Trump or Biden in office, right? And so I think that like, are there things around like the stimulus package? Sure. But like whether the Republicans get a $1.8 trillion package or the Democrats get their $2.2 trillion, we're still going to get about $2 trillion in the stimulus package. So I just think that the president doesn't necessarily matter as much as people like to think when it comes to the macroeconomy.
Yep. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Walmart has ended its effort to use roving robots in store aisles to keep track of its inventory, reversing a years-long push to automate the task with the machines after finding during the coronavirus pandemic that humans can help get similar results. Sometimes simpler is just as useful.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's fine. It's probably also cost a lot of money to do the robots.
More than the humans, isn't the whole point that the robots would cost less than the human labor?
Well, it depends, right? So if you've got to pay, let's say that the technology today, I'll make up numbers, is $500,000 per robot, right? I don't know if that's true, but let's just say. And in 5 years, it's going to be $50,000 per robot, just with the advancement of technology,
expensive.
Right? It'll get better over time.
But I just think it's ironic that they talked about these robots for so long. Now they're like,
testing.
Humans are good. They can do it.
All right, what else?
That's it.
Wait, hold on. I have one more topic. We have 4 minutes.
What?
Well, I don't know what the timer says, but I have 4 minutes. There was a big update yesterday that I need to address.
Oh, God.
The state of Oregon had a ballot, and on that ballot was a legislation that the voters voted on. And they chose to decriminalize heroin, meth, cocaine, psychedelics, etc. This is going to be a very interesting experiment. There are some academic papers that suggest by decriminalizing all of this, drug use actually will go down.
It's so interesting to me.
And supposedly, from what I've read so far, Oregon is taking some of the funds and they're going to actually put it into addiction centers and be more about rehabilitation rather than criminalization. So it's very interesting. We'll see if it works or not. I'm going to read some more on it. Maybe we'll do a whole series on this. But the reason why I want to bring it up is not because I think that decriminalizing heroin, meth, and cocaine is interesting. The decriminalization or more so the legalization of psychedelics is going to be a massive business.
I feel like, it's already trying to be a big business with microdosing and all that stuff.
Well, everyone has been interested in marijuana, and obviously that's going to be a big business. It already is a big business. But psychedelics, I think people who have not looked at that yet, go check it out. There are some very, very serious kind of studies and things that show just material impact, whether it's around depression, PTSD, all these different things. And so Oregon kind of being the first state to take a step on the psychedelic train,
I think that's interesting too.
is going to be a pretty big step, I think, when we look back. Just had to bring that up since it wasn't a topic.
Okay, joke time.
All right, hit us.
I married my wife for her looks. Just not the ones she's been giving me lately.
That wasn't funny.
So funny.
I thought the joke was just I married my wife for her looks. See, you didn't get it at first.
I got it. I just chose to ignore you and not participate in your little stupid joke.
I think you look beautiful. Don't worry about it.
All
right, guys.
Because I am beautiful.
That's it for lunch money today.
I'm the most beautiful.
I'm going to try to get a nap in or sleep.
I'm so beautiful, you never want to look at anything more beautiful ever again. Go on.
I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Bang, bang. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Lunch Money as much as we did.
And don't forget, Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi, so go check them out. There's a link in the description that you can click on. I'm an investor, a user, and a huge fan. What?
You're a bigger fan of BlockFi than you are of me?
BlockFi is my second favorite thing in the world behind Polina. They've got 3 products. They can give you a US dollar loan. You can earn up to 8.6% interest on an interest-bearing account, or you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies on their crypto exchange. I personally use the interest-bearing account. There's not very many places where you'll find up to 8.6% interest
on a deposit in an interest-bearing account. Go do your own research. There's risk associated, but 8.6% is pretty compelling. So click on the link in the description. Say thanks to the folks at BlockFi. Subscribe to our channel. Like the video. Annoy Polina in the comments. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And be kind to your friends.